Alright, so this is going to be the Survivor Series previews, predictions, what I think is going to happen, what I would like to happen, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Okay, for starters, the Raw is building up to this. We're bad in terms of building to the pay-per-view itself, but the Raws were still entertaining. I did enjoy them. It's just that you have this pay-per-view coming up. You're supposed to build it to be important. The last two pay-per-views were shit. You want to make this one look good. It's one of your big four. They just didn't do a good job of doing that. Alright, so this is a pre-show match. You got The Miz versus Kofi Kingston, who The Miz recently just turned heel. Thank God. Makes a horrible fucking babyface. I don't know why the hell they would ever turn him babyface when he generated so much heat. I mean, come on, WWE. Thank you, though, for turning him back heel. I don't see this match being anything fantastic. I mean, it'll be okay. You know, The Miz isn't bad. Kofi's good when he needs to be, so the match could be something. Am I expecting anything really good from it? Not really. Hopefully The Miz wins. I mean, The Miz has been on a losing streak, so I'm going to go ahead and say The Miz. You know, just have him have a fresh start here with a win over Kofi just to get him going. Okay, rematch for the IC Championship. You have Curtis Axel going up against the current champion, Big E Langston. This is Axel's rematch from when he lost the belt to Langston on the previous Raw. It should be good for what it is. It's just really here just to get Langston over as a face, and Langston should retain for that reason because they're trying to push him as a face. The match should be decent. Okay, there's going to be a 7-on-7 Divas Elimination Tag match. The participants are going to be the Bella Twins, the Funkadelics, Natalya, Eva Marie, JoJo versus AJ Lee, Tamina Snuka, Oksana, Caitlyn, Rosa Mendez, Summer Rae, and Alicia Fox. This should be interesting. It's not that I'm expecting it to be the greatest match. It's probably going to be really quick. Once, you know, a couple of the juniors, as I like to call them, you know, the minor league wrestlers in that ring kind of get thrown out, then the match will start to progress and it should get a lot better. And tag matches tend to be good. As far as I'm concerned, the more tag teams that are involved, the more diverse it gets. So this should end up being a really good match. You know, I hate when WWE doesn't do Survivor Series tag matches, these elimination matches, because it's just a traditional thing, so it's just really cool to see them doing it. In terms of a winner, I mean, you got me. AJ Lee's the champion. I mean, I still think she should be defending the championship against somebody at this pay-per-view, preferably Natalya. If I had to take a wild guess, I would say that it's going to come down to Natalya getting the pin on AJ Lee, and that's probably going to be the end of the match. Now, there's also going to be a 5-on-5 Survivor Series tag match featuring Cody Rhodes, Goldust, the Usos, and the returning Rey Mysterio, good shit, versus Shield and Real Americans. You know, Rey interfered in the match on Monday, and he's Mexican, you know, the Real Americans. I mean, come on. You can't get much more controversial than that. Hopefully they build a story going out of this pay-per-view with that, and they can go somewhere with it. I think that would really be good and help get over the Real Americans. You know, you have the Usos, who have been over and been in tons of matches as of late, been getting tons of airtime, and recently they were the #1 contenders. And then, of course, you have the Rhodes brothers, who have been feuding with the Shield. You know, they had that whole thing going on. They still do. So, I mean, there's a lot of chemistry in this match. It's probably going to be the best match of the card, hands down. I see the Rhodes brothers and so on winning the match. I don't see them losing because they're the champions. So that would make sense for them to pick up the victory. Like I said, it should be great. Okay, Superman versus Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship. Cena coming in as the champion. He will leave the champion. It's best for ratings. Okay, you know, because they care about the ratings so much. Granted, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Del Rio, what they've done with him. He needs to go back to being the, you know, Mexican aristocrat, you know, with having his own ring announcer and all that stuff with Ricardo Rodriguez and all that, the fancy cars. I mean, what he's doing now is just stupid. John Cena should win. I mean, it makes sense. You know, he comes back from the injury, he wins. You're not going to have him lose the belt back to Del Rio when, you know, Del Rio isn't exactly giving any prestige to that title at the moment. John Cena gives some prestige. It also brings some ratings to SmackDown because he has to appear on SmackDown because that's SmackDown's championship. You know, Cena's been impressing me lately with his match quality. He's been getting better. You know, I've really been enjoying some of his stuff he's been doing, so I expect the match to be good. More than likely, other than the two Survivor Series elimination tag matches, this probably will be the best singles match of the card. And at this point, other than the IC Championship match, the only other singles match that I know of that's going to be on this card is going to be the WWE Championship match between Randy Orton and Big Show, which I could really care less about. You know, first it was Daniel Bryan looking like he was going to be feuding with Triple H. And then they made it look like it was going to be Big Show feuding against Triple H. Then Big Show gets fired. And then they have to resolve this thing on TV. WWE does not want to get attorneys involved and blah, 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 because Big Show's going to shut the company down and blah, 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 or whatever. So they give him his job back, and all he wants is not money, just a championship title shot against Randy Orton. This match is going to be slow, methodical, and boring. I don't know how the hell Randy Orton's going to get any wrestling moves off on him other than maybe the DDT through the ropes and the RKO. You know, so what, a headlock? We have a bunch of rest holds in this match. I mean, this match isn't going to be anything fantastic. The way they're building it up, Big Show should win. But I mean, with my logic and the way WWE thinks, I mean, and also the right decision would be to have Randy Orton win. You know, I respect Big Show. I do. I respect Randy Orton. I just don't like their characters. They've been the same for so long. Whether they're heel or face, I mean, it's really not that much of a difference. I'm just tired of seeing them. Like, I don't want them to go away necessarily. Just, you know, get off of TV for a while. You know, get out of the main focus. You know, granted, Randy Orton wasn't champion for a couple of years. You know, we're still back to the same old shit. You know, and even though, you know, it's probably the right thing to do at this point, I still wish that in all this time, you know, they would have built new top guys instead of having to run with the same top guys you had on top 3 or 4 years ago. I'm not going to rant on that because there's no point. This isn't about that. This is about Survivor Series. This show is stacked up in terms of wrestling matches. Should be pretty good with the exception to Randy Orton versus Big Show. Everything else should be good to great as far as I'm concerned. This card looks good. The build for it wasn't that good. I'll give the build up like a C-. There really wasn't that great a build for this. You know, there's just a lot of random stuff. They really had no build. Actually, they had no build at all for the Survivor Series tag matches, and there's no Divas title match happening or anything like that. There's no U.S. Championship match happening, so at least none that I know of. If they do happen, I mean, great. AJ's going to do double duty. Awesome, I guess, and the U.S. title's going to get defended. I mean, that would be nice. I mean, but not nice if it's random, just like if AJ was defending it random, that would suck. You know, it would serve no purpose, and I don't know, whatever. But that's it. Leave your thoughts and your comments down below. Make a video response. You know what it is. Peace.